What up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. First and foremost, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. You know how they always say, you don't know what you got till it's gone, blah, blah, blah. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, yada, 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 cliche, 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 right? But like, when I was watching Naruto, that was actually super true because I did not like pervy Sage. I did not like Jiraiya until he died. And then he died and I was devastated, and I hadn't realized that my dislike of his character had lessened so much as I watched the show. Because initially, I didn't really care for him that much. Part of that was I realized I didn't like his American voice actor, his English dub voice actor, didn't like that. But I just didn't care for his character very much. And then as time went on, I was like, okay, he's not the worst, but obviously Kakashi's better, right? And then he died. I guess, spoiler alert, if you haven't already watched Naruto, I don't feel bad. It's been over a decade. But then he died and I was heartbroken. God, I was so freaking sad. Cause he wasn't so bad. He was just a horny old man who was in love with Tsunade and loved Naruto like a son. And I just, sad face. Anyways, that is what drew me to this video by Linfamy. It just says Jiraiya, this story will make you appreciate Naruto. So I don't know what we're in for, but Linfamy always has very informative, very fun vids. So I am super excited to see what's in store for us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
He was the son of a powerful lord and was given a powerful name. Jiraiya meant young thunder.
Oh, that's
he had an
nice.
easy little boy life and had the envy of the other boys because, come on, that name though. But the little boy was about to learn a little life lesson.
Okay.
Every good thing comes to an end.
God
And
damn
in
it.
medieval Japan, that end came in the form of your dad dying. One day, a rival warlord killed Jiraiya's father and took over the castle.
Damn.
And he would have killed Jiraiya too if it wasn't for his father's meddling samurai. One of his father's samurai retainers stole the little boy away,
Damn, got
escaping
snatched
to a
up.
distant province. There, the boy grew into an adult under the protection of his father's faithful samurai,
Thankfully, with more hair.
never forgetting where he came from. His goal in life was to restore his father's good name and his family's honor. But again, life smacked him in the face.
Damn.
One day, some robbers killed his guardian, leaving Jiraiya alone.
Bro, he can't
became
catch a break.
wanderer, exploring the world unencumbered by a physical home. He was homeless, is what I'm saying. Somewhere along his journey, the young man lost his way.
He was an itinerant ninja. It's fine. We don't shame unhoused people here.
His fearlessness and swordsmanship allowed him to lead a band of thieves. They were quite annoying with
Not
all the
thieves.
robbing and killing and such. They soon became rich, and their infamy, Linfamy, preceded them. One night in the mountains, on his way to rob a crippled kid, no doubt, Jiraiya ran into a snowstorm. Luckily, he found a small house in the darkness where a woman lived. She was very nice and let him stay to wait out the storm. But Jiraiya wasn't a good guy.
Right.
At midnight, the bandit king grabbed his sword and stepped into her room. She was reading, her back to the door. Jiraiya raised his sword and struck. He didn't know it, but that was the moment that turned Jiraiya's life around, forcing him back on the righteous path. At that moment, the woman changed into an old man.
Damn, that's
the man
messed
broke
up.
the
You done
sword
fucked
and
up
casually
now.
tossed the pieces, the way Natalie Dormer tosses away my emails. The old man revealed that he was a sage who had lived in those mountains for centuries. His real body was that of a large toad. The sage
Toad!
boasted that he could kill Jiraiya with one hand. On the other hand, Jiraiya was strong. The sage had plans for him. He would teach Jiraiya toad magic. And so Jiraiya trained for weeks to call forth storms and rains and floods. He learned how to control
That's
frogs
freaking
and
cool.
toads and could even force them to grow to enormous sizes.
So just to be clear though, he was wandering around, snowstorm, finds this guy, yada yada yada. Where are his homies at? He just ditched his homies for weeks? He just let them run wild while he's out here learning how to become a freaking sorcerer? That seems kind of irresponsible. Who was in charge?
Large enough to ride. At the end, the Toadmaster gave his student an order. Stop hurting the poor, you nitwits. Instead, help the poor and the suffering. You can steal from corrupt rich people, though.
Steal from rich people.
With that, the old
AKA
man
Robin
turned
Hood.
into a ginormous toad and hopped into the horizon.
And left. I'm
And so
dead.
Jiraiya set forth into the world, defender of the poor and innocent. The people rejoiced whenever our hero robbed some rich douchebag. The young thunder has struck, they would say. The name of Jiraiya became the rallying cry of the poor. At the same time, there lived a beautiful maiden by the name of, can you guess? Tsunade. She was nice to everyone and was an obedient daughter. One day, while gathering wood in the mountains, she ran into an old man. He revealed himself to be a sage who had lived in those mountains for centuries. His real body was that of a slug.
Ugh.
He offered to teach her slug magic, which she accepted. Among other things, she learned to walk on water, because that's what slugs do. After her training, the slug sage said to her, fight the wicked and help those who defend the poor. Oh, and marry the man Jiraiya to combine your powers. With that, the old man changed into a ginormous
slug and toad magic? The slimiest you'll ever slime.
slug and didn't go that far. Tsunade eventually did wed Jiraiya. Unfortunately, Tsunaya's married life was interrupted by a war. The couple found themselves on one side, while the other side enlisted the help of a powerful man. This man's father was a human, and his mother a serpent. His name was Orochimaru. He wielded snake magic, which sounds much cooler than the other two. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Orochimaru and his followers went around robbing and killing people, rich and poor alike. Turned out, Orochimaru would be Jiraiya's greatest enemy.
He said, these snake powers are rated E for everyone. Everybody can get bit. Hiss, hiss. That was corny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying that.
As you know, snake magic is strong against toad magic.
Right.
Fortunately, slug magic is strong against snake magic.
Why?
So their battles
That
were
doesn't make any
epic.
sense.
After one such battle, Jiraiya and Tsunade retreated to a monastery to recover. There, they met a princess who was Orochimaru's not yet wife.
Suspicious.
Wife because Orochimaru decided to marry her. Not yet because she decided to run and hide in a monastery rather than marry someone she had no interest in. Orochimaru got news of where they were hiding, so he poofed into a snake and infiltrated the monastery. He spewed his venom all over Jiraiya and Tsunade while they were sleeping, then stole the princess, leaving the couple dying of Orochimaru juice. Alas, the antidotes for the venom only existed in India, thousands of steps away. Don't worry, one of Jiraiya's followers, a boy of 14, had learned Tengu magic. He sprouted wings, got on a cloud, and flew to India.
Isn't Tengu crow, right? I think that's what it is, right? If what I remember from Kami-sama Kiss is correct.
Then came back the next day with the antidotes and cured Jiraiya and Tsunade.
Okay, but now the princess
Afterwards,
is
in another
stolen.
great battle, the slug-toad duo killed Orochimaru and ended the war. Oh, they also rescued the princess.
Okay, but Orochimaru is immortal, so obviously that didn't work.
Jiraiya became lord of Izu province, and the couple lived the rest of their days in peace. So this tale has different versions, each with their own differences, but they all involve the conflict between Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. The version in this video was written by William Elliott Griffiths.
A white man? No!
Who was an American that was invited to Japan in 1870 to modernize the school system. While there, he absorbed a bunch of folk tales and retold them in a book. But the first written version of this story was from an illustrated book series called Jiraiya Goketsu Monogatari, The Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant. The initial book, published in 1839, and ran for a whopping 29 years. There was also a kabuki play, which the Naruto franchise actually pays homage to. So guys, if you want to see more Japanese folktale videos, check out this playlist. If you don't, check yourself out the door. Just kidding.
I actually enjoyed that quite a lot. Because I got into like Naruto so late in the game, I never realized like how much folklore that Naruto drew from. Like every little thing in Naruto like had to be explained to me all the time, and so it's always nice to come across content like this that explains even more. I really like Naruto. I still really enjoy it. It's It's one of the big three for a reason, I feel like. So anyway, this was great. I haven't watched a Linfamy video in a while. His sense of humor is still there, and he's still very informative, so really enjoyed all of that. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.